Hey, good evening and welcome to another episode of the Drive Marketing. Tonight, Corey and I are getting to sit and visit with the crew with the Combined Forces sale. Guys, glad to have you on tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. There's quite the smorgasbord of us around here, and I almost feel like I'm not Corey, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'd rather just sit and listen to these guys talk than ask them questions.
You bet. You bet. There's a lot of guys that have bred a lot of quality cattle here tonight in this set. And then you got Adam Pryor, you got Shay Gafford, Brian Fox, legendary Bob May, and then the other person that's not with us this evening is Jeff Jackson. So you talk about the pool of genetics between these five guys. Boy, nothing but quality.
Oh, you're exactly right. It's a who's who of breeders, but I can promise you what little we got to see of the cattle in the videos. Hey, it's a who's who of bred heifers too. So, hey guys, we'll just jump right into this. Adam, tell me something. This Combined Forces sale, how long has this been around and how did it get started?
I think this will be either our fifth or sixth year. I think our fifth year having the sale. Actually, Jake Lee and I talked about it before we got started, how it'd be really cool to get a big group of us together or some very reputable breeders that offer differences in types and kind of cattle and bring them all together. And when we first originally started the Combined Forces sale, it started out with Shay and myself and Chad Thompson and Jason Jensen from South Dakota. We had that together for I think 2 or 3 years, and then them guys decided to go in a different avenue, and we went away. And at that time, we were a live auction. We had it in Dunlap, Iowa. Last year was our first online sale. Shay and I decided with the numbers we were going to sell that it wasn't quite enough total numbers to have our live auction in Dunlap, and then everything with COVID and everybody across the country wondering if they're going to travel and all kinds of that. So that was how we got started with doing it online, and we're going online again this year. That's kind of how we've trended the last few years, and I would say a lot of this is on Shay with some of our new sale partners. He had mentioned something about Fox has had a couple sets of bred heifers he sent Shay the last few years that have been through our sale, and I think we're trying to include him now as a sale partner and bringing in Bob May and Jeff Jackson this year. They've kind of always been on the outskirts and starting to be part of it. But now we're starting to actually include them, and they're going to start adding some more cattle going forward.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, there's no doubt when you add those guys, you sure add quality. And you talked about it, your sell platform moving to an online. Where is that? Where's that to be held? SteerBidder?
Yeah, it's on SteerBidder. Chris does a great job organizing everything for us. Comes and does our pictures and videos, and he's kind of the behind the scenes pushing and marketing and doing all that stuff for us.
That's good. December the 27th on SteerBidder, the Combined Forces sale will open. And just as we've got to sit here and visit, we get to see these cattle on some video here. Doesn't look like there's just one breed of cattle represented. Is there multiples?
There's all sorts of different stuff, and that's one thing that when Shay and I talk all the time, we get goofy ideas. And for any of you guys that know Shay, once in a while he gets a little wild and crazy with his ideas, but a lot of them are still really, really good. And that's the biggest thing. There's a little bit of everything in this sale with Herefords, Simmentals, all different breeds. You got club calf stuff. It doesn't matter what avenue in the cattle industry you are, there's something in here for everybody.
Yeah, and I think as a buyer and somebody that is a connoisseur of this kind of stuff, anytime that you guys can offer multitudes of breeds and things, it opens up more opportunities to get in somebody else's living room that night of the sale. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's dive right in here on these cattle here. We're going to start off with with the lot one, prior consignment, a slider daughter, I would imagine out of the Angus Bull slider.
Yes.
Yep. And back out of a simmer down cow that goes back to the Luton donor.
Yeah, the 909 Luton donor is she's a different kind of Angus for more of our club calf stuff. She's got the big feet and legs and the extra shag hair and the extra freak neck. The simmer down, it's a beautiful simmer down daughter out of her. That's just her. That was just her first calf. The donor, I think, is probably going to end up in the donor pen. Lot one's mother. Simmer down is a momentum out of a black joker that actually that's a bull we run that was actually raised by the legendary Kelvin Jorgensen out of one of his old, really, really good black joker donors. So that female is out of a half-blood simmer down. So we've got momentum and black joker in there. And the cow family there, both that heifer's mother and grandmother are phenomenal top-end cows in our herd. I expect a lot of big things out of lot one's mother. And you look at that picture and watch her in her video. She might not have I put it in the footnotes, she might not have the hot pedigree for raising a steer, but I can tell you that one's got enough look and bone and presence and rib cage and muscle shape that you can, she's very versatile. I think she'll be one that can go raise steers along with raising females.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Hey, what's this female bred to?
She would be bred to sex fully loaded. That would be fully loaded female. So she is actually paperable as a quarter blood Simmental, being out of a half blood semi cow. And then she's bred to sex fully loaded female. So we could go back and paper her quarter blood, and then it doesn't bring you up a lot, but it would bring you up to a 5/8 female, I believe, is what she's got in her belly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she looks like she could go both ways, maybe raise a show steer or raise females as well. It looks like.
I had a guy here this afternoon looking at them, and I'm telling you that one, even though her pedigree doesn't look like when you got Angus back on there, an Angus sired one, that one, she's as good as her picture in real life. She's got that extra look and presence and good haired and the right kind of muscle.
Yep. Hey, this next one is one that actually, when Shay called, he mentioned this female, a purebred registered Hereford out of the Randy Mullinex bred Playmaker bull and out of an About Time cow, bred to 2296. Boy, there's a lot of quality Hereford genetics in this one. She looks like a freak show.
Yeah, she's real impressive in person. She came from, like you said, Jeff Jackson's program, and he couldn't be on tonight, so I'll talk about her a little bit. She's out of that 341A donor, which, like you said, is an About Time. But this thing is a beast. I grew up raising Herefords. I've been around Herefords. I'm not here to say that I know everything about them, but it doesn't matter if she's in with crossbred, Simmentals, whatever breed. I mean, she sticks out in the crowd. She's pretty neat. Just super, super stout made and sound, big bone, good moving, and just good looking. I mean, for a purebred Hereford to look like that, she's real impressive. I think you could mate her a bunch of different ways. If you wanted to raise some show steers, she's got that extra punch, but she's also good enough looking that she'll raise some females too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the success of 2296 has had as of lately, hey, she's bred to make something right out of the gate.
Yeah, and she's like, you can kind of tell in her picture and video. I mean, she's got some size to her. She's mature. I mean, she could lay down and hit it out of the park right away for sure.
No doubt.
It was kind of, I talked to Jeff early before we got to send it, before we decided what he was going to send up, and just to kind of go on what Adam talked about a little bit. Literally, I think there's every breed here. There's Charolais, Hereford, Angus, Simmental, purebred and percentage, Maine's Herefords. There's a little bit of everything, and I think that diversity is huge. We don't have a lot of one thing, but to try to have the top end of each breed from each program, it really allows us to have a higher quality sale than just 1 through 100, and you run them in the ring. So compliments to everyone that has put stuff in. It's made it fun. Once I got them all collected here, it's kind of fun to go through them and look at them because there's a lot of quality of a lot of different breeds.
Right.
We got a black broccoli face coming next. This lot 7 female County O out of a broker Raptor cow. Would imagine she's a 3/4 blood female, and then she's AI to the new Steenhoek sire double up.
Yeah, she's a super impressive female. She came from Blind Badger Ranch, and Brian can jump in here too on this one if he wants a little bit. But as far as being impressive, I mean, she looks in person just like that picture. I mean, this one's probably biggest decision is which way you're going to breed her. If you want to stay making Semitals with her, but she's got the punch and the look to raise some steers. You could go both ways with this one real easy, but it doesn't matter what angle she gives you. She's super, super impressive. She's a pretty neat female. Brian, you want to just give a little shout about that cow?
She'd go back to the original Raptor cow that we just got rid of a year ago, and she was an 05 model. She'd be the mother of Xena. She'd be in. I mean, there'd be piles of offspring in our herd and across the country out of that original Raptor cow, and that'd be this one's grandmother. So, good cow families for sure.
That County O, I think combined with the broker on the backside. I mean, we all know Broker's pretty popular right now, and he puts that little extra punch and foot and bone. And if you want to raise some steers, having that on the backside, I think is going to be huge in this female. And obviously, I'm a little partial to County O, as I'm sure Bob is, but I think that mating is really going to hit it out of the park down the road.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of them. I've seen a bunch last weekend, and I've seen a few just traveling around South Dakota this the last month here. Boy, them cattle, them County O's look like they're going to make good bred cattle and good mama cows. It sure looks like. Hey, have you seen very many of those, Bob?
I've seen a lot of County O's, and we've bred a ton of cows that way. Pretty much all registered Angus for that half blood. They're moderate, and they're really got a lot of presence. So, yeah, I of course, like I said, I'm like Shay. I'm real partial to that bull. We found that bull at Shay's place. I mean, that's where the bull started, and Griswold's got involved in him, and they've done an awesome job merchandising females. So in all honesty, he's had an opportunity to get in a lot of good cows too. So that sure doesn't hurt nothing. But I think as far as making, getting you that show heifer, and these awesome breds, they're moderate frame, they're huge middled and good chested and fronted, and bring a lot of show ring presence to the table, I think. So yeah, I'm like I said, but we got started on that bull up at Shay's place. So
we just been visiting about County O, Bob. The next one that we're going to go to is the lot 8 female, another County O out of an Angus.
Yeah. So first thing I'd like to address is the fact of, Shay and I talked about me coming on board on this combined forces sale here almost a year ago. So, and thank you, Shay, for that and getting involved, because I knew it'd be good with the people that were involved. And so it's a little intimidating, you dang sure don't want to show up there with just some average ones. And so hopefully we came with some quality, but they were planned matings. We typically, well, not typically, every year we breed a lot of registered Angus cows. Some years we breed them straight Angus. Some years we breed them purebred semi for half bloods. And so these heifers that I brought to the sale, they're a planned mating out of a set of cows, 135 registered Angus cows that we sold a couple years ago. And these are the top replacement heifers out of that Flying D program out of Ada, Oklahoma. And so, there's some planning behind this, like the rest of these guys. I was a little intimidated, I guess. And when I went up to Shay's on Monday, I wanted to walk through all these other heifers and see how we stacked up. And if I could just address something, not even about my own cattle, but, Adam talked about the lot 1, Shay talked about 5 and 7. That Hereford cow is a freak. And we're a little partial to the Herefords. We've been showing some Herefords. We're done now. the lot 7 of County O. She's phenomenal. But what was the most impressive to me, it was when I walked through those cattle, the variance in breeds represented in the quality in that. So Shay had them out in a great big lot, and they had room to get around and move around, and we got to see those cattle move. And so that was really impressive that you weren't just dealing with a couple different breeds. That they've touched on all bases here and brought the quality they did. So hopefully we stacked up with the rest of the guys, but that's a heck of a set of cattle.
Right. So tell us about this lot 8 that you send, the County O Angus.
Okay, this actually was a heifer. Like I said, we brought the top end of those replacements out of Ada, Oklahoma. This heifer actually got shown. She's gentle as a dead pig. I mean, she is really, really quiet, stout. I mean, Shay, I think, could attest she is incredibly stout, big middle, good chested, freaky fronted. I think she brings a lot of good things to the table. A local gal actually showed this heifer this summer. Not that it's a huge deal. She didn't win no junior national. She did win our county fair. She was supreme overall breeds there. And like I said, that family decided that they would probably part with her to buy another heifer. So that's why I got to get her back for this sale. I kind of sold her with the idea that I might want her back because I needed one like this to represent our program here in Mineral Point, one of this caliber.
That's good.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to stay on this Simmental train here. Hey, the guy we didn't talk about here in the consignments is Jeff Paulson at Paulson Cattle there in Iowa. And this lot 21 comes from Jeff. She's a hybrid, purebred Simmental out of the Werning Bankroll sire and out of a long haul cow, and sells bred to May All.
Yeah, she's impressive, and Jeff sent up a group. He sent up a really, really good group, high quality group of semi-influence bred cattle, and honestly, there was so many good ones. It was hard to pick one, but I just thought this one was really unique. I mean, this one's presence for a purebred Simmental, it's hard to find one that clean chested and good looking and just real feminine headed and can still move for a purebred like that. I thought I wanted to get her on here so that people could see, what kind of purebreds that we had. And I thought this is one that ever since Jeff dropped her off this spring, I thought was one impressive animal. And again, you could go a bunch of different ways with this thing because she's a freak. She is pretty. She's in the upper percentile of that breed for sure.
Boy, to find a purebred with that kind of neck extension and to be that good chested and stuff is she looks very, very unique in that regard for sure.
She is. There was a couple others that we were going to put on and I just thought this one people needed to see on here just because she was kind of different.
Yeah. Has Jeff is this the first year Jeff's consigned to the sale or?
No, Jeff's been I'm going to say 2 or 3 years. He's been bringing some to the table each year. So yeah, he always brings a really good group.
Well, yeah, I mean he's always been known for having some of the best Simmentals in the country, and I would not expect him to not have good stuff for sure.
Yeah, it's fun when he drops them off. He had a little bit of bad luck this year. He brought them up and he lost 2 tires about 5 miles away. So that was a little exciting for the day, but it was well worth it. We got them switched around and unloaded, and it was good, real good.
Yep. We're going to jump back on another one of Adam's here. Adam's got him a 3/4 blood Simmental, a Pace to Believe, Prophet Bismarck, 3/4 blood AI to sexed female, fully loaded.
Yeah, the 011 bred heifer has been a good one since she was a calf. She's actually a twin. She has a twin sister that is bred 30 days later that is also very, very good. I would say just as high quality as this one. The only reason she's not on the sale is she didn't stick AI, and I usually try and put everything on the sale that I can guarantee is going to stick AI. But This one's a rare one for a 3/4 semi. She's got well, one thing I'll mention. Her picture is really, really good, but she's actually even better in real life than that one's picture. When we did pictures, it was on Tuesday, the day before that big storm that come through the Midwest. And I don't know what it was that day, but I think the cattle knew that storm was coming through on Wednesday when we had the tornadoes popping up, because picture day was a little bit of a struggle for us getting the cattle to do what we wanted them to do. But this female's, if you read the footnotes, she's got that extra look. She's one that picks her head up when you look at her from halfway across the field. You always find her. Her feet and legs are absolutely incredible, clean jointed, awesome at the ground, right kind of leg set, right kind of muscle shape. Really, really high on this female. Her mother is very, very impressive. She's a Prophet Bismarck, a cow that's been doing a fabulous job for us. We've actually kept pretty much every female her mother has raised up until this one, and I'm not so sure. Her mother's just a 2016 model cow, 640's her number. Wouldn't doubt she makes her way to the donor pen after this set of twin heifers, with this one we're selling and the one that we're keeping that was bred 30 days later.
Yeah, and it looks like another female that's bred to 6 fully loaded. Is that right?
Yep.
Gotcha. So this offspring here, another one that's just right out of the gates got opportunity. So
Got a heifer calf in her belly.
And she's a
You can't
3/4
beat it.
blood, so you can do so many things in terms of, breed. You can breed her purebred, raise purebreds. That thing looks stout enough, Adam. You put a little club calf on her. You think she could raise the steer? Or?
Absolutely. You put a bull on her with a little power and a club calf on her. Absolutely, she's dual versatile. I just think she could raise a lot of things.
There's
And
a
the funny thing was, you were talking about County O and how some of them looked. I wouldn't doubt that wouldn't work on her.
absolutely. Yep.
Hey,
Well,
now we get to welcome in old Brian Fox to the conversation. Corey, it looks like a broker female out of that really good ex-Raptor cow there at Blind Badger.
Xena, out of Xena. You bet.
So this one would be dual registered. She'd go half semi and quarter maintainer. She would be a full sister to the heifer Arthur's that one maintainer junior nationals was reserve at semis 2 years ago. And then my boy's showing a full sister to her this year that just won Supreme out here in at the Great Northern deal. So obviously this has been a mating that's been as consistent as we can produce year after year. So been bred up to May We All, which also originated from out here. Myself and my wife and Blind Badger, a cow that we own with Jim and Bud here at Blind Badger, where May We All originally came from. So
Kind of the Sure Shot Cavanese deal there too, Brian.
yeah, he's been solid in that regard, no doubt about it. Very rarely do I get a phone call about that being an issue. So
Good.
And that cow's been at Corey can attest to her and the next one's mother. They're both up there at 605, and they're impressive older cows for sure.
Yeah, that Xena. Well, Xena's had. I mean, you just listed the 2 semi-sired full sisters to this one, but she's the mother to
the data bank that just won Kansas City.
The data bank that just won Kansas City. Was she the mother of Brandon Jones's?
Yeah, that was 5th overall junior nationals.
5th overall junior nationals, and she's the mother of. Is she the mother of both of the 2 that Arthur is showing this year?
Yeah, there's going to be 2 all me's that Kelton's going to show this year, I think, too. That'll be higher percentage cattle. So she's.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that cow she just don't miss very far.
Right. It's been good. She herself was show heifer of the year for Austin Nowatzki originally, and we were lucky enough to get her back. So it's been good for a long time on that one.
You bet. Absolutely. And then we got another one of Fox's this lot. lot 53. She's a Memphis Mafia out of the Judy, the Supreme Champion from Louisville. AI bred to daddy's money. Boy, if this isn't I mean, there's so much pedigree here. You could go on for a day and a half in a footnote.
Right, she'd go. She's a 3/4, and then bred up to daddy's money there. So that baby will be a registered high main out of her. This one's, you know, I when I send these to Shay, we always got plans of which ones are going to work, and I've been sending them for 4 or 5 years now, and which ones, you know, we've kind of learned our lesson on which ones work and which ones people are wanting. And this one was kind of one of them ones I really didn't want him to take, but I think he got his wife to give me a hug or something, and she talked me into it. But she's pretty special. A 3/4. She'll be able to obviously raise some main Angus, raise some highs. Anything out of her will register. So bred up right away to hopefully return somebody some money. Goes back to Judy that, like Corey said, won Louisville in 2013, I believe, and she's been cranking them out ever since. So.
Yeah, and
He's
I don't know
impressive
that
in
there's a
person.
main bull. Oh man, that thing's impressive without a doubt. But I mean,
Super
we
gentle
talk
too.
about- Oh really?
Yeah, super gentle. Like you could throw a Holt runner and leader in the ring the way it looked. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Could I add
Those
something?
Mafia daughters seem to be generating unbelievable, haven't they, Brian?
Yeah, like all Mafia's sisters have really been clicking, and there's been some Mafias obviously that working or that have been doing well showing and stuff. One other thing, there is one. This one's got a sister in the sale, lot 48, I believe. That's a Huda man actually out of that Judy cow, and I know that maybe gets some people's attention because I was fortunate enough to come or do a deal with Huda man, and so we made some dual registered key and maintainer deals out of Judy on lot 48 with her be this Mafia's maternal sister, but out of Huda man. So the hardest thing that I think on this whole sale, and a tribute to all the other guys on here too, is just, I know we're only going to talk about 6 or 8 of them, but that was probably the hardest thing, is to figure out which ones to talk about, because it's pretty good all the way through.
Well, that's what I was scrolling through there tonight before we started, and you go through there. There's a lot of good pictures and videos that didn't get talked about yet.
Right. Hey, Bob, I heard you just a minute ago wanting to throw in some knowledge here. What do you got for us?
Well, you know, I was serious what I said when I walked through that group, but when Brian ended up on that lot 53, that was, I think Shay and I think that was the female we encountered the very last before we left, and she is quite impressive. That's all I was going to add. I mean, Brian's talking about his own heifer, but that's a dang good lot 53 there, and that was the last one. She just stuck in my mind as we walked through all of those cattle and saw so many impressive females out of different breeds, but that was the last heifer right on the corner of it where the panels met there, and she is quite impressive.
Good. So we've got the combined forces sale here through SteerBidder, and it's going to be held December the 27th. And some who's who consigners here with Shay Gefford, Jeff Jackson, Bob May, Adam Pryor, Brian Fox. Have I missed anybody else? Jeff Paulson's involved in this thing. And I'm going to agree with Bob what you said, and Brian as well. I can only imagine when it's this many deep in terms of numbers and this many deep in terms of quality operations. I bet picking those 6 or 8 to highlight was probably the hardest job of all, because these things have been impressive.
Yeah, it was almost impossible. You had to just text back and forth and tell people to pick numbers out, because otherwise it was, I mean, you could go right down the list, and there's usually something, back in almost all of them.
Right. And us, we're very thankful you guys have chose to use Drive Marketing to try to get this out to some more homes, and the online platform sure gets you in everybody's door. But, I think anymore it's being more and more popular for guy to get in a truck and not just rely on pictures and videos and telephones. There's some guys traveling the country now. And where does a guy go to see these things? Are they in one spot? Are they in 6 spots? Tell us where we go if we want to just go look at them.
The cattle that I have consigned are all in Woodbine, Iowa, which farm like they always do. Anybody that's been here in the past knows that. And then all the rest of the consigners got everything gathered together at Shea Geffords in Wisconsin. So they're just basically between 2 sites. Anybody's welcome at either one of our farms. I know that without asking Shea, but they're welcome at any one of our farms anytime.
Absolutely. And then just in terms of consultants, is there anybody else involved? I know Bob has mentioned that he's been through the cattle and walked through them. Is there anybody else that they can get in contact with or visit with?
I just talked to
anyone. Yeah, I would say they could contact any one of the consigners for sure. I know quite a few of them will be through here. I know Jake Lee, he's always helped with Adam and myself as a consigner. I would think he'd be more than willing to give a description, or if somebody has a question or wants a cell phone video, we're more than willing to do that. Or Max Street. I know everybody's got people helping them, but he's one back home here helping me. He's been feeding these things and taking care of them. So he's seen them every day for the last 6 months. So you could contact him as well. Along with any of the consigners would be great.
Perfect.
Hey, Shea, I would just add to that. I'm just a little over an hour from you. If anyone needs to, and it doesn't have to be about one of mine. If anybody needs me to go look at something in particular, because like I said, it's a pretty big offering from several different.
Yeah, so it looks like that we've lost there it is. Gotcha. Yeah, so Bob's willing to travel, get in the truck. Anybody that knows him knows he's not scared to jump in a pickup and go look at something, and it doesn't have to be an hour. So, no, that's sure refreshing. And guys, just in terms of trucking, it's the inevitable question that everybody wants the answer to. What do we got going on for these guys that are obviously going to be out of state, multiple locations? How are we going to handle trucking?
There'll be plenty of trucks headed all over the country. I've got a truck or a trailer headed to Texas here in 2 or 3 weeks with some fallborns and stuff. There'll be room on that load. We usually, between all of us and some of the other sales, we all work together. We know all the truckers. We'll catch rides for them going east, west, south, north, whatever direction it is. We always get together with all the guys and help put that together after sale is. It might take a week or 10 days or 2 weeks once in a while to catch the right load, but the cattle will be taken care of here until we do catch the right load and make the trucking as reasonable as we can.
Good. Well,
yep.
Guys,
and we reached out to some trucking companies today also just to give them a heads up that it's coming up so that they had it on their schedule, and whether they got to come from Adams to here or whatever, we'll definitely assist them in getting their cattle home.
Get them delivered before they get a coupon on the ground.
Exactly.
There, you bet. Yeah.
You bet. Well, y'all just heard it. Don't let trucking hold you up, and I would say step up and bid with confidence, because it's been impressive to sit with you guys and listen about the offering. I mean, I know each one of you guys. I know your operations, and hey, we're just appreciative of you guys choosing to use us a little bit. And if we can be any assistance, we're right here for you. So Combined Forces sale on SteerBidder, December the 27th. So guys, good luck with your sale, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Yep. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Guys.
Absolutely.